Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're tackling something that is literally universal, yet completely misunderstood. Rejection. I mean, imagine if every single time you got overlooked, ignored, or just flat out rejected, it didn't crush you. What if it actually propelled you forward? Well, we're going to explore exactly how to flip that painful sting of rejection into a massive stepping stone for greatness. And we'll be leaning on the ancient wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. Think about it. The guy was a Roman emperor ruling the known world, and even he had to actively deal with betrayal and rejection. Wild, right? Have you ever had a door literally slammed in your face, only to look back years later and realize, wow, that was the absolute best thing that could have happened to me? Look, we have all felt that initial sting. It's totally human nature to feel undervalued when we're ignored. But what we're talking about today is a complete paradigm shift. What if the universe's no is actually just a hidden yes to something way, way better? All right, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We've got 13 Stoic lessons grouped into 5 phases: the sting of rejection, mastering your internal response, the power of strategic silence, channeling energy into growth, and finally, joy as ultimate defiance. Okay, let's jump right into phase 1, the sting of rejection. The absolute foundational rule of Stoicism here is super simple. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's just not. Instead, think of it as a redirection. If you get passed over for a promotion or someone decides you aren't worth their time, you know what? That is absolutely their loss, not yours. Stoicism teaches us to look at these moments not as dead ends, but as giant neon detour signs nudging you toward a place where your unique talents are actually needed. Moving right along to phase 2, master your internal response. Now, notice the crazy contrast between our gut instincts and the Stoic approach. When somebody brushes you off, your instinct screams at you to fix it, right? To beg for attention or just let frustration completely take the wheel. But the Stoic reaction, it's hitting the pause button. It's staying perfectly calm, tapping into your internal resilience, and taking a step back to ask yourself, wait, why is this actually bothering me? Because honestly, most of the time, it's not the rejection itself that hurts, but our own insecurities flaring up. Taking that pause is absolutely crucial for protecting your self-worth. And that brings us to the real art of emotional detachment. Look, Stoicism isn't about pretending you don't hurt. You absolutely acknowledge the sting, but you don't let it anchor your thoughts. You don't let that wave capsize your boat. Instead, you take the momentum of that wave, that huge jolt of energy you get from being rejected, and you use it to steer yourself toward new possibilities. Let's slide into phase 3, the power of strategic silence. So let's break down the actionable steps of what we call a strategic retreat. First up, embrace silence. Treat it like a mental reset button for yourself, not some weird mind game you're playing with them. Second, cut off contact to set a firm boundary. It basically says, hey, I respect myself way too much to chase you. Third, if you happen to be in a social setting, turn your attention to the folks who actually want to be around you. And fourth, for those interactions you literally cannot avoid, just be polite, offer a kind smile, but keep emotionally distant. Keep it strictly business, you know? The point here is that you aren't giving someone this silent treatment just to be petty. I mean, we're not in high school anymore. What you are doing is building a fortress of self-respect. You're taking that quiet space to refocus on your own goals, to preserve your inner peace, and most importantly, redirecting your precious energy toward the people and passions that actually bring you joy. All right, phase 4, channel energy into growth. This is where a quiet, personal revolution starts. On day 1, yeah, you feel the sting, but you actively choose inner peace over throwing a pity party. By week 1, you're deep in the silence phase, using that time for introspection. Maybe you pick up a challenging book or really push your limits at the gym. And by month 1, the transformation is fully underway. You are quietly sharpening your skills and building this profound level of competence. And notice, at no point are you broadcasting your struggles to the world. Your resilience is completely internal. The core difference really comes down to where you aim your growth. Our natural instinct is to try and prove our doubters wrong, right? But the Stoic ideal is to prove to yourself what you're actually capable of. It's not about gathering social media followers or climbing some popularity ladder. It's about redefining your own limits, finding genuine fulfillment, and showing up to help your community through volunteering and making real, meaningful connections. And finally, we arrive at phase 5, joy as ultimate defiance. When we get rejected, the basic human instinct is to withdraw, hide under the covers, and just stew in our own sourness. Well, you have to actively short-circuit that instinct. Go seek out joy. Try a crazy new cuisine you've never tasted, grab a meal with friends, or just go for a hike in a brand new neighborhood. Actively participating in your own life and purposely choosing joy, that is a bold, defiant statement against the heavy weight of rejection. So we've basically just compressed 13 incredibly powerful Stoic lessons from our source material into this explainer. And every single one of them points to one absolute truth. Your value does not decrease just because someone else lacks the ability to see it. If you take absolutely nothing else away from this today, please remember this. Rejection is merely a redirection. Every single no you encounter in life is just an opportunity to burn away what isn't meant for you, so you can rise up like a phoenix, stronger, wiser, and way more resilient than before. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. How are you going to use your next no to fuel your greatness? Don't let it capsize you, let it steer you. If you're ready to embrace rejection as a catalyst for growth, drop the words strength in adversity down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now get out there and turn those closed doors into open horizons.